Peace, Lord Kashim Allah. Welcome to Kashimism. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Now I want to deal with a few topics that I've been checking out. I haven't been saying nothing for a few days. I've just been doing the knowledge. First thing I want to deal with is that whole Fat Joe shit. That shouldn't have never took place. And a lot of people owe that man an apology who couldn't wait to shit on his name. You know who you are. Because if Star put that paperwork out, the next person who exposed that shit like that, yo, you a street dude, bro. You know the science behind shit like that, bro. That's some dirty shit to do to a man's name. There's no way a secret like that could have been kept. A man ain't gonna sit in jail and see Fat Joe on TV and ain't gonna say that nigga snitched on me and look at his fat ass on TV. When each one of the co-defendants didn't have no family that was in court. They didn't have no homeboys to say Fat Joe snitching on me. That it was kept such a secret. Well, I heard it was brung up once before. But the point is, if it was bullshit then, why is it not bullshit now? Other for the purpose of fucking up that man's name. And then say all the research should have been done on it. That should have been done before you brung that shit to the light. Shit on that man's name, and I mean no disrespect. I mean no disrespect. But you know that shit was wrong, and you knew that shit was bogus for the start, and you had a hidden agenda that you brung to light eventually, and that was to destroy that man's name. Because for 1 week, that man's name was dragged. The same thing with Jim Jones. Just imagine if he had a hookup or political connection to whereas he get pulled over, he got the hammer, and they turn the other cheek. Or they turn their back, however you want to put the fucking statement. His own people ratted on him. Oh, you got caught with the gun. How you get out of that? You got something to explain. Fuck you sound like you got something to explain. That's his life. See, y'all taking shit a little too far. Because y'all can destroy people's lives with some of the shit y'all say. Hit it and quit it, give your opinion. But just drag a man's name through the mud, that shit is fucked up. Even dealing with that clown Poorlite. He may be a grimy bastard. Them conscious community people may be a bunch of hustlers because all you gotta do is read the same books. Ask them what books they read. And you too can open your mind. Or you can pay attention to your surroundings and study that shit. Because you ain't in Egypt. All that shit ain't serving you no purpose. Everybody got something about history, but ain't nobody got nothing for nowadays. That's what fucked me up. 5% nation, but we gonna deal with that another day. Yeah, back to Poorlite. What mother or father gonna allow their daughter to come home violated, and the man say, please don't say anything, you destroyed my career, and they sit on that shit with 5 or 6 months, and the only reason it came out now because of the DNA test. What if the DNA test was held up for another 6 months? We still wouldn't know. What would have been coming up in 5 or 6 months would have been my trial, because my daughter's word is bond, and I don't give a damn about your career. You let your daughter go with this man. He violates your daughter. And you don't have him arrested that night. You get a DNA off to get tested to reassure that you got him. It could have been your shirt, not your daughter's shirt. But you lined your daughter up. So I'm not saying he grimy, but on this one he was set up. Because no real parent is going to sit on that shit for months knowing that their daughter was violated and other children can be violated and at very same time that you waiting unless you got a hidden agenda. So let's get this shit right, y'all. We can't just drag people's name through the mud. That's the same thing devils do. It's one thing reporting and adding on. It's another thing voicing your opinion and demanding an answer for some shit that really don't have nothing to do with you. I came here with a mission, and that's to build the 5% nation. Sad thing is, the 5% nation, the ones that I know, don't want to be built up, so it's a solo mission. But it must be done. And I don't mind putting them on the spot. The 5% nation in New York has no home. Why? Because they wasn't on their fucking job. And they will not do anything, the ones that I know, to participate in getting a home. But they can tell you about Yakub, though. See, 5% nation, all that shit we study is right here now. And you turning your back on your people. You are held responsible for them. We are responsible for everything under the sun, moon, and stars. Remember, we fighting the devil. So how are we going to fight it when half our people, 85% of our people, don't know what the fuck they doing? We need a home so we can sit down and build with shit. And that brings me to something else. What's some dude's name? Wu affiliates. Do y'all know that the 5% nation don't have a home? Y'all 5%. And if you don't know, how come you don't know about your nation not having a home? So if y'all got any ideas, add on. Not ask you for no currency, ask you for some ideas. We gotta do better. How many times we gonna say that? We gave birth to a whole nation. How many times I gotta say that? That's doing better than us. And now I can see why it was so easy for Knowledge God to give devils knowledge in them 85s. It's one thing them pieces of shit do. They stick together. They might be out there rabbit ass mind, but they stick together. Now can we say that 5% nation emphatically now, Cypher? Because if we did, we'd have a home. Peace.